Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sirajul Faizi. I welcome you in my YouTube channel. Today in this video, I am going to talk about solid state chemistry. My friend, this topic is very important to understand this chemistry. You know something about the solid state chemistry. So let us start with the definition. The branch of physical chemistry which deals about structure and properties of solid. There are two types of solid, crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Solid state chemistry means if you have the crystal solid and if you have amorphous solid. So in crystalline solid, ordered arrangement, anisotropic, sharp melting point, electrical and thermal conductivity. In amorphous solid, no ordered arrangement, isotropic, no sharp melting point, no conduct electricity and heat. These are the differences between amorphous and crystalline. Now, crystallography. What is the meaning of crystallography? It is the experimental science of determining the arrangement of atoms in crystalline solid. Laws of crystallography means crystallography is based on the fundamental laws, and that laws is law of constancy of interfacial angle, law of rational indices, and law of constancy of symmetry. Now, crystal morphology. So, if you talk about the law of constancy of interfacial angles, what does it mean? This law states that angle between adjacent corresponding faces is interfacial angles of the crystal of a particular substance is always constant in spite of different shapes and sizes and mode of growth of crystals. I will show you the examples. Now, law of rational indices. This law states that the ratio of intercept of different faces of a crystal with the three axes are constant and can be expressed by rational number that intercept of any face of a crystal along the crystallographic axis are either equal to unit intercept or intercept made by unit cell A, B, C or some simple whole number, multiples of them and the simple whole number. Now, the law of constancy of symmetry. This law states that all crystal of a substance have the same elements of symmetry, is plane of symmetry, axis of symmetry, center of symmetry, and total number of lane, axis, and center of symmetry possesses by a crystal is called element of symmetry. Total number of element of symmetry in cubic crystal is 23. Plane of symmetry is 9, axis of symmetry is 13, and center of symmetry number is 1. Now, element of symmetry in cubic crystals. If you see the cubic crystal, 9 plane symmetry of the cube, rectangular plane of symmetry 3, and diagonal plane of symmetry 6. Now, element of symmetry in cubic system or cubic crystal, 13 axis of rotation of the cubes. You can rotate in different way. Element of symmetry in cubic crystal, center of symmetry of a cubic crystal, order of center of symmetry is equal to 1. Now, symmetry operation in crystal. What does it mean? A symmetry operation is an operation performed on a crystal of such that the crystal transformed into a state distinguishable from the starting state. Three types of symmetry operation: plane, axis, and center of symmetry. Now, plane of symmetry in crystal. It is imaginary plane on a crystal system. With respect to this plane, the crystal is divided into two halves one half is the mirror image of other half. The two types of plane symmetry, rectangular plane of symmetry and diagonal plane of symmetry. Now, rectangular plane of symmetry. It is a imaginary plane passing through the midpoints of two opposite faces of crystal. With respect to this plane, the crystal is divided into two halves. One half is the mirror image of other. Diagonal plane of symmetry. It is imaginary plane passing through the diagonal of opposite faces of crystal. With respect to this plane, the crystal is divided into two halves. One half is the mirror image of other. Now, rotational axis of symmetry in crystal. It is the imaginary line passing through the crystal system. With respect to this axis, the crystal is rotated by an angle and give same appearance of the crystal system. Type of rotation axis of symmetry like two-fold rotation axis of symmetry, three-fold rotation axis of symmetry, four-fold rotation axis of symmetry, and six-fold rotation axis of symmetry. Now, two-fold rotation axis of symmetry, it is the rotation of crystal with respect to an imaginary line passing through the crystal by an angle 180 degree gives similar appearance of the crystal system. So, total number of two-fold axis of symmetry in cubic crystal is 6. Three-fold rotation axis of symmetry. It is rotation of crystal with respect to an imaginary line passing through the crystal by an angle 120 degree gives similar appearance of the crystal system. Friend, the total number of three axis in cubic crystal is 4. Now, four-fold rotation axis of symmetry. It is the rotation of a crystal with respect to an imaginary line passing through the crystal by an angles 90 degree gives similar appearance of the crystal system, and total number of three-fold axis of symmetry in cubic crystal is 3. Now, six-fold rotation axis of symmetry. It is rotation of crystal with respect to imaginary line passing through the crystal by an angle 60 degree gives similar appearance of the crystal system. The total number of six-fold axis of symmetry in hexagonal crystal is 7 and order of rotation axis 6. Now, center of symmetry in crystal. It is a point in the crystal. With respect to this point, a line drawn in opposite direction that intersect the surface of the crystal at equal distance in the both direction. So, I will talk about the Miller indices later.